All right. Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all the praises, honor, and the glory unto YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and unto the elders of Great Millstone, GMS, for telling me this truth. Honors to the brethren and the Akim that's been pushing out this truth with all sincerity and in faith. And to Wadi YAHAWAH, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, for allowing me to come back with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be titled Proper Perspective. Okay. And this is what I the brother out there in Houston, Texas, the brother Shamgar, he was touching up on this, briefly touching up on this chapter in the book of Ecclesiastes, the second chapter, and he, and I have my because the brother, he was trying to figure out the right words to describe this chapter, and I always have my problem too, trying to explain in words the best way I can to explain what this chapter is or what it's all about. And it's pretty much, it puts everything in proper perspective, and it also gives you a good mental view of things and what to do and what not to do in this truth, and what to prepare yourself for, and to just, always be ready, or stay ready so you don't have to get ready. All right. So I'm going to read this chapter, and Lord will, this is an edifying lesson. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 1, and it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." So that's right. So when you come to serve Adawan, you have to prepare yourself for everything and anything, and take it cheerfully, as well, and to not get worried when times of trouble, come, and don't think about, or don't think of it as, the Most High hates you, because the Lord, he chastens those that he loveth. And in the book of James, matter of fact, let's grab this. This is the book of James. James chapter 1 and 12. And it says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation." So you become blessed when you endure the temptations, the trials, the tribulations in which Yahawah puts us through. We become blessed. And it says, "For when he is tried," so we're all being tried. We're all being purified. We're tried like gold is tried, like silver is tried. If you want to purify, you got to put it through the fire. And that's what the Most High does with us men. Because we're his gold, we're his peculiar treasure. And it said, "And he shall receive the crown of life." And that's what we're striving to go for. We want to be ready to the reward of the kingdom. And we want to receive those crowns and those palms and those glorious garments spoken of in the book of 2nd Ezra, all right, the second chapter, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. You see, so this is something that the Heavenly Father has promised to those that love him. And Apostle Paul, he stated this well. He says, he says, "Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, should give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing." You see? Verse 2, and it says, "Set thy heart aright and constantly endure." So whatever you got going on, continue to fight, continue to go through it, And I made a lesson on this this clip that I saw when Andre Ward, he got dropped for the second time in his career, and then you hear his corner man saying, "Look, this is it. This is what the greatness is all about." And he was saying, Leonard fell down. Ali got knocked down. He got up, and so did you. And that's and I refer to that as to the scriptures as well, because a righteous man falls 7 times, but he getteth back up again. Okay, and we got to constantly endure no matter what. Continue to fight, continue to win the rounds, so to speak. And it says, "And make not haste in time of trouble," meaning do not get worried when things get a little fishy. Things get a little iffy. And this is what you want to do as well. Verse 3, "Cleave unto him," meaning to call upon him. All right. "And depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully." So whatever is brought upon you, whether it be small or great, you got to take it cheerfully. And it says, "And be patient," meaning to suffer when thou change to a low estate. Because this is how we take it higher, our strength. This is how we get the increase. All right. This is how we get stronger and stronger. "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee." See, so you got to believe in the Most High. All right. And he's going to help you. And it says, and order thy way aright and trust in him. And that's right. And we want to trust in him with all our heart and lean not upon our own understanding. Verse 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. You see that? And that's what we want. We want the Most High to direct our paths in the path of righteousness for his namesake. Okay? And it says, verse 7, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. And this is what comes with fearing the Lord. We fear him, and we obey him in hopes that we receive his mercy, in hopes that we receive the reward, in hopes that we get the everlasting joy and mercy in which he's promised to those that love him. Verse 10, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? And the answer to that question is no. And it says, did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Nope. Or whom did he ever despise that call upon him? And that's not a one. Okay. It says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. And that's the times that we're coming into, right? The times of affliction, the times of the time of trouble. When we want the mercy and the compassion that our power possesses to be bestowed upon us, to rest upon our heads. When all around is lost. Because we're the ones that are going to be, stably minded, because we have the wisdom, we have the knowledge, we have the understanding, and we have the fear of the Lord in our hearts, meaning our minds. While everybody else, when this time of affliction comes, they're not going to be ready. They're going to get hit. It's going to hit them. Reality is going to smack them in the face, so to speak. That saying goes. And it says here, woe unto fearful hearts, meaning those that are afraid. And it says, in faint hands, and sinners, and sinners that go of two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, meaning scared. You can't be scared. And it says, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. So you're not going to be defended if you're wavering, or if you eat without faith. Because damned is he that for whatsoever is not of faith is sin. You have to have faith. You have to, and you can't go to your local pharmacy or liquor store or grocery store and get a bottle of faith. That's a gift from the Most High, and it has to be bestowed upon you. And woe unto you, it says, verse 14, woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will you do when the Lord shall visit you? And that's right. So what are you going to do? Those of you men that fell out, you lost the patience. See, but us brothers, our mentality is to keep the patience of YAHAWAH. Because this is what will be bestowed upon us if we do so, if we endure unto the end. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And that's right. And that hour of temptation is near. That hour of temptation is nigh. And that hour of temptation represents what? When the implantation of the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, is instituted worldwide. Okay? The beast system. And it says here, verse Salakia. I completely spaced that one. Reading on, it says, and I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. In our power, he's here, he's nigh. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. You see, and we're not going to allow anything or anyone to take our crown. Right? We're going to fight for our salvation. Verse 15, they that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. And that's what the fear of the Lord gives you. You fear the Lord, and by you fearing him, you love him, and by you fearing him, you keep his commandments. And that's well pleasing in our power sight. Because where the fear of the Lord is, it turneth away wrath. And it says here, verse 16, They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. See, and that's what we do. We seek those things that are well pleasing unto him. So see, this chapter explains to you what to do. It gives you the game plan, so to speak. This is the playbook. All right. Like in football or like basketball, you got certain drills you're gonna run to see if you could get into the end zone, see if you could get inside the pocket, see if you could get down into the paint. You run those drills. This is the playbook right here. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, and it puts everything in proper perspective. And it says, and they that fear the Lord, it says, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, which is his judgments, so is his mercy. And that's what we want to be bestowed upon us. And really, brothers, this is all the scriptures are great motivators, but this is a good one. If you're feeling some type of way, read this chapter to yourself, and read it with some conviction, read it out loud, pretend that you're teaching somebody, and because this is a very good precepts within this chapter. And this is the game plan. This is the playbook. This puts everything in proper perspective of what to do and what not to do. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end here through the spirit. Just something that was on my spirit when I was listening to the brother SHAM. The brother was making a lesson on it. And the spirit just had it to where I was like, yeah, once I get home, I'm going to touch up on it just a bit. But I pray that this lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. And as always, I'm going to give all the praises, honor, and the glory unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Makakwadash, double honors to the apostles, and unto the elders, the great millstone, GMS, for telling me this truth. Honors to the brethren in the Akim that's been pushing out this truth with all sincerity and in faith. And to Wadi Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, for allowing me to come back with another lesson. And it's on to the next one. Shalom.